Welcome to my morning report charts process on Tuesday the 7th of February with me, Rich Market Analyst at Handset Markets. We've got an interesting move on the dollar today, which is sort of impacting across markets really. We've got a significant amount of dollar strength which we've sort of developed through this European session in the early sort of minutes. Let's just show you that rebound that we've had. Last couple of days basically been consolidating, but today sharply high, and this sort of move is basically coming on the back of euro weakness really. The euro has been increasingly weak as the concerns over French politics have sort of exacerbated in the last sort of few days with Marine Le Pen and the French presidential campaign sort of really kicking off. And that is sort of sending the yields on French government bonds higher, and event risk and all that sort of political risk is sort of impacting on the price of the euro, which is sharply down today. And I'll show you in your chart of the day on in your euro dollar chart that how that has broken down, but also my chart of the day on euro yen as well. Sterling is sort of down almost in sympathy really, which is also impacting on the dollar. But it's interesting that this dollar move is coming as the treasury yields are not really sorry, that's the wrong one. The treasury yields are not really rising. They're basically still down on the day on the 10-year, and the 2-year is mildly higher, but nothing really that would sort of point towards dollar strength. So there's still the question mark over how that dollar strength is sustainable really, considering how treasury yields are not really rising, are they? So that's an interesting factor to play out. In terms of oil prices, nothing really doing there, actually falling away, still ranging sideways really. On the oil price, commodities as well generally. In terms of your safe havens though, there has been a shift towards safe havens because of this increased sort of worry over Donald Trump's protectionism in the last few days, and again the event risk of the political movements in Europe have sort of driven traders into the yen, into the gold price, and also treasuries as well. So basically we've started to see a little bit of an unwinding move today, but nothing too significant, certainly on dollar yen and also on the gold price, just mildly coming back towards breakout levels really, but strong moves nonetheless, and I'll talk you through all these in my charts as I get to them. In terms of what we've got to look forward to today, a bit of US data on the trade balance is the main focus. This afternoon at 1:30 we've got the US trade, 45.0 billion on the negative, on the deficit. It's not really going to do a massive amount to help support the dollar, but it'll be interesting because this is the December trade figure, so the final number from President Obama's presidency, and that comes before Donald Trump has basically shot his mouth off about all these trade deals and all these currency devaluations that are affecting US trade in the last month or so. So that will be interesting to see how that affects in the coming months, but certainly at the moment 45.0 negative on the deficit is not really going to do a great deal to support the dollar. Now US jolts at 3 o'clock is expected to come in at 5.57 million. So my chart of the day, as I said, is the euro yen. Now this is an interesting chart because of the breakdown. We've had this market basically trading sideways above sort of 2050 to 2410, so that's what, 360 ticks, 360 pips. But that broke down yesterday in a decisive manner and is continuing today. Look at these momentum indicators, sharply negatively configured. MACD lines going negative, stochastics going negative, RSI going below 40. To the lowest point since September. So it is a move that is continuing, and it looks like little intraday rallies should be seen as a chance to sell. You've got this hourly chart which shows this breakdown, shows that the MACD lines and the RSI, anytime they sort of unwind back towards neutral area, should be considered a selling opportunity. Even 40, the overnight rally, or yesterday afternoon's rally, sort of hit 40 on the RSI before falling over. So anything between 40 maybe 50, maybe to 60 is a chance to sell. So, on that RSI if you get it. Now you've got initial resistance that comes in with the overnight sort of, I say rebound high at 120 spot 22, but 120.50 is that big breakdown level from that range. And I think any rally you get within this move, I think is a chance to sell, because that sort of breakdown certainly suggests we're going to be putting pressure on 118.50 in the coming days. And as I said, 360 ticks would suggest sort of 117 area, possibly in the coming months. So I wish you good luck in your trading on the Euro Yen today, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.